Good morning, students. So these are our lessons for Friday, August 28th. And as you can see, I am not starting with math today because I am not requiring you to complete page 9 for math. As I said in our Zoom meeting, all I want you to do is go back to your first 4 pages that you did this week. Make sure that they are correct, review them, and then get them ready to send. So you are done with math for this week if you have finished page 8. Now for spelling, for your book work, you have also finished all of the pages required, but you still have one assignment for today, and that is to define your pattern words. So this week you will not be having a spelling test because I do not have the program to test you just yet. So you will just have a grade for participation and assignments. So I'm going to head over to our pattern words and show you why I am displaying this paper here. So here are our pattern words for this week, which are these first 12. And what I want you to do is to go to the back of your book, to your glossary, which I hope that you have been looking through for your vocabulary section. And I want you to find the definitions for your 12 words. I want you to take a look. Next to each word, you have your pronunciation. Then you have your definition. And then you have your sample sentence. You are only going to write the definition, which is next to this letter here. Just the definition only, and only for numbers 1 through 12. So what I did here was show you an example of a piece of paper and how I would like for you to head your paper. So you're in 5th grade now, and it's very important that you turn in neat work. So here on your paper, you're going to head it to the right of your paper. Your name is going to go on the very top line, then the date on the second line, and then the subject. In this case, we're doing definitions, so you're going to skip a line, and then you're going to head your paper with list 1 definitions. And then you will number your paper all the way down, numbers 1 through 12, skipping a line in between each definition. So remember, you only have to do 1 through 12. We're going to do an example here. So for number 1, we're going to define chili. So as neat as possible, we're going to go to the back of our book. And here we find chili, we find how it's divided by syllables, the pronunciation, and then the meaning. Noticeably cold. After that, we just have our example sentence. So we're only going to write noticeably cold. Then you will skip a line and go to number 2. This is how you should be writing and turning in all of your definitions. Now notice that I'm using a pen. Your teachers probably had you use only pencil. Now that you're in 5th grade, I allow students to use pen so that you can start getting ready for middle school and using pen more often. That means that you will not be able to correct your mistakes as easily. So you can choose to use pencil, or if you make a mistake, there's a neat way to cross out your words. So for example, if I spell a word wrong, like pattern, we do not spell pattern like that, but you don't want to make a mess and squiggle all over the word. One neat line across the word is enough. And then you write the word correctly next to it. So if you're choosing to use pen, which I allow, please make sure that you keep your work nice and neat. And here's our work for Friday for language arts. Now I noticed that on the lesson plans, page 11 was actually for Thursday, and you didn't have this video lesson on YouTube for Thursday. So if you did not complete it, that's okay. I'm going to review page 11 now. However, if you didn't complete it, we will be doing page 11 and 12 today, and that will be it for this week for language arts. So we're continuing this page with helping verbs. So we're going to go back and review everything that we learned yesterday on helping verbs. That means you might have to go back and click on Thursday's YouTube video to remind yourself what helping verbs mean, and also refer to these helping verbs and state of being verbs. So you might have to go back to this page and also the previous video if you're having a little bit of a hard time remembering what we went over. So here for write A, you're going to write a helping verb in each blank to make clear sentences. So you're going to go to the previous page and choose some helping verbs that would make sense with these sentences. Then for write B, it says sometimes a verb has 2 or more helping verbs. We learned that yesterday a little bit. But it does give you some more examples. It says here are some helping verbs that usually go together. So we have been, might be, would have, has been, could be, and will have. It says here to write 6 more helping verb combinations and to refer to the helping verb list if necessary. So remember, we just talked about referring to our list. So you can look here and here. Just choose different combinations and then write them here. If you're having a hard time coming up with 6, you can use 1 or 2 of these, but try really hard to make 6 different combinations using these words and the words from the previous page. Then for write C, you're going to use the list again. It says to choose verbs from the helping verb list to complete the sentences. So for example, for number 1, it says we blank blank going to a ball game tonight. So we can say something like we might be going to the ball game tonight, and you would fill it in there. You're going to do the same thing for numbers 2 through 10. Another example, I blank blank attending this school for 5 years. I have been attending this school for 5 years. That makes sense. I might be attending this school for 5 years. It sounds okay, but it doesn't make as much sense as have been. So the best thing to do is to read the sentences out loud. Sometimes you can decide after reading them out loud whether or not they make sense to you. But try your best, and even if you think that you may have gotten some wrong, don't worry. I will correct them, or I will return your paper corrected. So as we start this brand new subject with action verbs, helping verbs, and state of being verbs, just do the best you can while looking at your little list references like this one here, and going back to your previous videos if necessary.